Coming up on the bright side, the amazing woman removing tattoos at no charge, incredible determination in the face of paralysis, the love that's improving health as well as warming hearts, and the good news about battery recycling. Hello, Sabra Lane here with The Bright Side, where we're highlighting the inspiring and encouraging stories that you may not have seen in the news. Do you have a tattoo that you regret? Many people have got tattoos that they're quite proud of, but some people, well, later in life they come to regret it because they think it's holding them back from getting a job or finding somewhere to stay. That's the situation for Adelaide man James Cully. He spent 4 years in prison and he now wants a new life.
I let a lot of people down going in, and I lost a lot of time.
It will feel a bit like a sunburn there.
If it wasn't for tattoo removalist Amanda McKinnon, he couldn't afford their removal.
It's hard enough. I'm trying to save up, for other things like a car and my own place, so putting money aside for something like this is not an option.
Amanda's Fresh Start program selected James to get his face tattoos removed for free, and he's not the only one. In fact, it was a domestic violence survivor that sparked the initiative.
She actually had something quite offensive tattooed on her that was forced to be tattooed by her partner. Was in a position where she couldn't afford tattoo removal, had young kids growing up, was in a safe house.
Amanda says forced tattoos as a result of domestic violence are common.
They might have been forced to get their partner's name or something offensive, or we have even seen tattoos on the face and the arms that are sort of just like scribble-like, just so no one else would be able to fall in love with that person.
It's important work that Amanda McKinnon is doing. We caught up with Amanda recently and she had some really exciting news about James Cully.
He's doing amazing at the moment, and he's got a really great job, a good house, he's got a new partner, so he's feeling on top of the world at the moment, which is so nice to see, and nice that we've been able to play a little bit of a part in that as well.
Amanda's goal now is to get more funding to expand her program. She says the benefits for participants are huge.
These people are so thankful. They're so thankful that there's someone that's giving them a shot. And I think in a society where we're so critical and judgmental, and it's very easy to cancel people out, when people make the right steps and when people are legitimately trying to change their lives, I think as a society and as a community, we need to get around those kind of people, and we need to support that.
Now, regular subscribers of our Bright Side newsletter will know that this next story brought me tears of joy. Rob Lucan's determination and his zest for life are really remarkable. Let's take a look.
He's clocked 90 kilometres per hour in his buggy, but is always looking for more speed. Rob's in an elite group of extreme kiters. He discovered kite buggying at Port Douglas.
I had a buggy there, so I thought, I said, can we do that? He said, why not?
He used to lay on the beach with the harness on and learn how to control the kite, and he would often just get dragged around the beach like quite comfortably every other day to learn how to do it. And I just thought that's so crazy, he's just an incredible human.
Every day, it's a fight for Rob to walk and talk. He caught the virus encephalitis when he was 24 years old. He nearly died.
He damaged all my brainstem, so all my motor stuff. To begin with, I was completely paralysed. And I was that far from joy.
But he was absolutely determined to get back to the active life he'd always led.
Getting dropped at the top of a mountain with a helicopter and skiing down, and motorbike riding, like he was always the active adventurous, a bit of an adrenaline junkie kind of guy, yeah. And I think he's just continued that now, and he's just, I don't know, after he got sick, he played wheelchair rugby, and he just hasn't given in. He's just said, well, I'm just going to find what I can do. He's a madman, I think. He's a madman.
Away from the beach, he had to reinvent himself to find something beyond his past life as a fisherman.
And is the first in his family to complete a university degree.
After a few years I managed to go to uni. That took me 5 years. I got my computer science degree.
Rob will be 60 this year, but isn't slowing down.
I'm looking at that.
What an absolute legend, I think you'll agree. Now we're going to take you to Utopia in the Central Australian desert. It's a cluster of 16 outstations named by pastoralists about 100 years ago who were apparently overjoyed by the abundance of rabbits they found. Now it's better known for producing generations of incredible Indigenous artists, including Jennifer Purvis Ngware.
This rarely seen pocket of paradise is her home, and she wouldn't be anywhere else.
I'm still here. I don't want to go anywhere to live because I grew up here.
Jennifer's grandmother, Emily Kame Ngware, is among the most prominent and prolific artists in Australian history. Her paintings have decorated a Qantas Dreamliner, adorned gallery walls around the world, and sold for millions of dollars.
Make me happy when I sit down outside and do a painting like my grandmother Emily was doing like that too, and outside and pushes, make a little windbreak, do painting like that. That's what I'm doing, following his footsteps.
And despite all the accolades, Jennifer shares her grandmother's desire to stay on her homelands.
Her mesmerising pencil yam dreaming paintings are being shared and appreciated well beyond her Central Australian home.
Sometimes I feel shake to my people.
Jennifer spends her time a long way away from the world that feasts its eyes upon her work, painting outside in the elements with her sister.
We go there, paint, cook some kangaroo, get some bush onions. Yeah.
Her work may travel, but her heart is here.
Saskia Mabin from our Alice Springs office travelled to Utopia for that story. Now we're going to bring you a love story. Rebecca and Mitchell met at a Brisbane Day program for people with disabilities, and they fell in love, like two people might. But what's special about their relationship is just how much it's improved their quality of life and their health.
Incredibly, since Mitchell has been on the scene, there haven't been many seizures.
There's a change in me, that I'm being more calm, like being happier. He says them type of things, like just as long as you're with me, it doesn't really matter.
The couple has more control over their lives, and it's opened up the eyes of some of their family members who've been their carers.
I think they're just perfect for each other. Mitch is really happy, and I can see him putting his best foot forward for Rebecca, and I'm really proud of how he's looking after her.
On Valentine's Day, Mitchell proposed to Rebecca.
His mum found out via social media.
I'm sorry for that, Mum.
That's okay.
There's no talk of a wedding date yet. The couple wants to live together in a group home first and learn some more life skills.
Once I get married, that's it. Once married, and he thinks the same thing.
Yep.
Like, married, that's it. We stay together forever.
It's that commitment that's given Mitchell's mum a sense of security.
As you're getting older, you worry what will happen when I'm not here. But I think he's going to be okay.
Our best wishes for Mitchell and Rebecca. Now, when I mention the words black box, I instantly think of a plane crash and investigators desperately trying to get their hands on it to find out what happened in the moments before a terrible tragedy. But what if I told you a black box was being made for Earth and humanity's response to climate change?
Scientists, artists, engineers and architects have come together to create a black box for the Earth, built to outlive us all. But the creators behind the project say all hope is not lost.
In a way, the purpose of the box is not to sort of say, well, we're doomed and that's the end of it. It's actually to say, whatever we do from now on, we're going to record anyway. So maybe there's an opportunity to take action which prevents that catastrophe.
It's an interesting idea. Will our behaviour change now that we know something's recording it? That's the question that researchers are asking.
The box will be up to 15 metres in length and 4 metres high. It's made from reinforced steel and is solar powered. Inside, hard drives will store 500 scientific data measurements, from the acidification of the ocean to the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. Rainfall, ice thickness and temperature records will also be stored. An algorithm will gather contextual data, newspaper headlines, social media activity and transcripts of speeches from world leaders.
It's never been all put into one place. It's always been sort of sectionalized in various different sources. And the idea is for every measurement, we will record more than one measure.
So in an unstable and ever-changing environment, where would you build such a black box? In a desert? On a mountaintop?
The creators considered locations around the world for the black box, but it's here in Tasmania's rugged west where they found the perfect spot for what they needed. It's remote, as well as geographically and politically stable, and despite the area being known for its wild conditions, they say it can survive every possible natural threat.
Much like the positioning of a black box on a plane is such that it's got the best chance of surviving if the plane goes down, the west coast of Tasmania is absolutely that equivalent.
Only time will tell. Have you ever tossed a dead battery and put it straight in the bin? I think many of us are guilty of doing that at some point, but did you know since February it's become easier to keep that material out of landfill?
EnviroStream is processing 20 tonnes of this waste every week, and it's expecting much more with the launch of a national scheme to recycle batteries. Thousands of drop-off points are being set up in major retailers across the country.
The company featured in that story recycling the batteries hasn't made a profit yet. That all depends on selling commodities inside those batteries.
At the moment, 80% of the batteries at this facility is getting alkaline batteries like this one. However, they'd like to see more of these sorts of lithium batteries, which are more valuable on commodity markets, which is how they could increase their profits. EnviroStream also needs scale, which is where the new recycling scheme comes into play.
We've come from a position of no rebate and where the importers of batteries have not contributed to the recycling at end of life. So this is a really great step forward.
FYI, the World Bank reckons that the demand for the materials found in those batteries will increase by 500% by 2050. Okay, that's it for this episode of The Bright Side. We'll leave you now with some more pictures of Rob Lucan on the beach. And don't forget, you can subscribe to our newsletter. Until next time, bye for now.